Hello everyone, it's Attacker72 here, and for today, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Quite a fun experience that I've had for at least the past week and all. And yeah, while I did manage to go and run into some random glitches and bugs every once in a while, at really one point, this was definitely one of my best experiences playing a Pokemon game in quite a while. I love the characters, I love catching Pokemon, I even completed the Pokédex. But what really intrigues me, obviously, when it comes to just seeing any new game, is the introduction of new characters. I love the cast of characters, going for the rival Nimona, Arvin, Penny, and especially some of the gym leaders, and, facing off against Team Star. It's really great. However, one character out of the ordinary Pokemon characters throughout Scarlet and Violet, one seemed off to me, and to be fair, it's been kind of vague on what this character could be. I'm talking about specifically the champion of the Paldea region, Geeta. According to her bio in the official Pokemon page, it says that she is the chairwoman of the Pokemon League, which operates the Paldea's Pokemon gyms, and she is this region's champion, which pretty much makes sense. We always get a lot of champions in every single game. It's always been the way since the beginning. However, something about Geeta felt so mysterious and off. And yeah, mysterious characters can work, but something about Geeta just didn't really feel right. Like, we barely know anything much about her, and that's kind of why I'm going to be going through an analysis of what Geeta could really be. I've seen some say that Geeta is the worst trainer, some say she's pretty off, and some say she's really mysterious. So I hope you at least enjoy my analysis on talking about Geeta. And so with that, let's not waste time. Let's get started talking about the Pokemon champion of the Paldea region. So first off, when we get to check her wiki page, let's first talk about her team, because, her team is something that's something that many fans have mentioned when encountering her for the first time. For someone who is the top champion, whenever you're a champion in your region, you gotta make sure your team is incredible. You gotta make sure they're quite a powerful and a threat. And the biggest example I could really think of has to be Cynthia from the Sinnoh region. Her Garchomp is so terrifyingly powerful that many Pokemon players, including Diamond and / Pearl fans, are still traumatized from just fighting Cynthia's Garchomp alone. And even with Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, they managed to buff Garchomp and a few other of her Pokemon as well. Her fight is definitely not something to be messed with. And with Geeta, many are really curious to see what her team is. Well, sadly, it is quite underwhelming. So, according to this one, out of the 6 Pokemon, 4 of them are new. And yeah, while, it's great to have 4 new Pokemon in your team, a few of them, I feel like, aren't really great. 4 out of the 6 of them are definitely the oddest ones. Those being Espatra, Go-Goat, Veluza, and Avalu. The only 2 Pokemon that were so interesting in this one has to be Kingambit and Glimmora. First of all, I'm not going to explain, much about these Pokemon. If you want, there's actually a specific video talking about replacing Geeta's Pokemon team as a whole and see what her team could be really better off without these ones. But the strangest thing I have to talk about has to be 2 things. One, why is her Glimmora her ace Pokemon? Wouldn't it make sense for Kingambit to be, the ace Pokemon? His ability is Supreme Overlord, where if any of his Pokemon teammates faint, he'll get more strength once he comes out. I don't know why Glimmora manages to get ace Pokemon, and some say the whole Glimmora thing may sort of match her hair as a whole, which, I mean, that's kind of dumb to say the least, but that's just kind of that's just some sort of personal theory that I've been hearing about. But then, the most interesting part about Glimmora as a whole is that this is a Pokemon that cannot be found outside of Area 0. It can be found in the Paldea region, but the only way you can find it is by just simply, you can see its pre-evolution, that's about it, but you can't find Glimmora anywhere aside from Area 0, and it's unknown how Geeta managed to caught it. I would personally like to say it has to be from the pre-evolution, but at the same time, it could be sort of, now spoiler alert for those who don't want to know, I feel like this could be a part of an outbreak and some Glimmora managed to get it out, but then again, it's really unknown, and I kind of hope DLC can explain what and how she managed to get her Glimmora as a whole. But anyways, my point about her Pokemon team is that it is really underwhelming. When you fight her the first time, it is somehow the most easiest team you have to face, despite her being the top champion. And yeah, that's all I have to say about the Pokemon. Now we have to talk about her character as a whole. Now, first off, when we first saw her, let's go talk about her character design as a whole. First off, I do really love the contrast of the characters, clothing and the hairstyle. First of all, is that, I love the mixture and the composition between the black, blue, and gold. Kind of makes her feel like a champion herself. And when we first saw her, I feel like many already pointed out that she kind of looks like this one right here. I know, kind of funny, and like I mentioned earlier, some stated that Glamora is supposed to be representing the hairstyle that Geeta has. And you know what? I can totally see that, but at the same time, I don't really buy it. Plus, I mean, Glamora itself also kind of matches the color with Geeta's color scheme as a whole, with the black, gold, and blue, and some of those elements are a part of her ace Pokemon as a whole. So that's pretty much the first impression as the champion, which makes sense. But something about her character in the entire series is the fact that not even the NPCs and gym leaders like her, which is kind of a first in the series. And when it comes to a champion in every Pokemon game, they are always loved and respected. Cynthia is obviously one of the most respected Pokemons as a whole, and Pokemon character trainers as a whole, and, really. And then there's Leon, who, despite his bad sense of directions, Leon is still one of the, best champions that many have stated in the Galar region. It was something to say the least. But we have to mention first is her Pokemon introduction. Here's the thing, when we first saw her, all she pretty much says is, "Hi, nice to meet you," and then just walks away, and you won't get to see Geeta in at least a few gyms after that, which I find kind of strange. The one time that actually happened, which if I'm not sure my memory's bad, it has to be Cyrus from Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shine Pearl. From what I can recall, Cyrus just kind of walked by, says, "Move out of my way," and then we found out that he's actually the leader of Team Galactic, which is quite a nice twist. Despite her being the champion, she just kind of comes off as mysterious, which I find obviously very odd. Now, like I mentioned before, I stated that some of the NPCs and gym leaders have stated that they just don't like the champion herself. According to what it says on the core series wiki page of her character, it says that Geeta has a strong personality. She wants trainers across Paldea to become stronger, but her strict management of the region's gym leaders causes some of them to resent her. Those characters being Katie, Rhyme, and Grusha, Tulip and Grusha have stated some discomfort towards her to varying degrees, but one specific gym leader has to be Larry, and Larry stated that he explicitly does not like her, with some of the reasons being that she does not allow him to specialize in the normal type Pokemon as an Elite Four member, which yes, Larry, despite being a normal type gym leader, is also part of the Elite Four, but and if you look at Larry's team, whenever you fought him as an Elite Four member, you may notice that it's all very colorful. But then when you fought him as a gym leader, it's all normal Pokemon, which was kind of strange of Geeta to just sort of restrict Larry's Pokemon like that. At least he get to keep his ace Pokemon as a whole. But still, the fact that not even the gym leaders like Geeta is very, very strange indeed. And what's more interesting is that her title is known as the top champion, but apparently that's the only title that she has given. She's the only person to ever given that title. And what's even more bizarre, if you look at the top of her page, it says that she's the chairwoman of the Pokemon League in Paldea, but she's also the Paldea's top champion and ranked trainer, and is the chairwoman of the Academy's school board, which is either Naranja Academy or Uva Academy, depending on which version you have, but she's the only person in the games to have the trainer class top champion. So, what exactly is going on here? Does she basically just given her the title out of necessity? Is someone basically controlling her that is above Geeta? It's kind of strange that out of all the Pokemon characters throughout the entirety of its generations, Geeta's the only one that has the top champion, the title in the entirety of the Paldea region. And I can kind of see why some don't really like Geeta as a whole. Another thing to mention that I've seen some places online is that Geeta stated that she has no intention of holding back. And from what I can remember from the game's dialogue, Nimona has actually been holding back before she became a champion. So what exactly got Nimona suddenly, to just hold back? Was it because of Geeta's Pokemon being very too powerful, despite it being one of the worst lineups I've seen? All I'm saying is that when it comes to Geeta, it's just odd to see something of a champion, which we've seen how champions are respected, became suddenly very hated, and not just from the NPCs, but also the Pokemon community. To add some more evidence when it comes to Larry not liking Geeta at all, here's the thing though. First of all, is that Geeta asks you in the postgame to pretty much fight all 8 gym leaders once again, as sort of like a testing to see which one's the most powerful. And when you come back, one of the weirdest things after that is that she comes visit your dorm room and then asks you a few questions. Whenever you answer Larry, she mostly just shooks her head no and like discomfort whatever you say Larry. She just simply says, "Oh, I see, Larry." But then the other 7 champions get some positive feedback. For some reason, it seems that there is a reason why Larry doesn't like her at all. What's even more stranger is that she stated that she states she'll come and visit our home at some point, which I don't understand why exactly. That kind of made me a bit weirded out, to say the least. All I'm trying to say is that there's something off about Geeta. I know I've repeated myself so much, but there's just, when it comes to a champion, I don't know, I don't understand why Geeta is sort of a mysterious character. So, overall, for my whole character analysis when it comes to Geeta as the top champion, I would say that she is quite a mysterious person, but her management is definitely kind of the reasons why it made her quite not a good name for herself. Another thing, before I end this off, is that I really hope DLC, to be fair, DLC is already very inevitable at this point. My point is that I really hope DLC can cover more of what Geeta really is, because the more because it's becoming way more vague the more I play this character, the more I play this game, and the fact that Geeta just keeps coming up as sort of mysterious and nothing too interactive at all. I'm just trying to say, I hope we get to learn more about Geeta in the future. But I want to know all your thoughts and opinions down below about this. What do you all think about the top champion, Geeta herself? Do you think she's a bad champion? Do you think she's one of the worst ones? Or do you really think she's just coming off as someone that is pretty much nice, but just didn't really give that much development for her character? I want to know all your thoughts and opinions down below about this. And so with that, leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more videos, follow my Twitter, and I'll see you guys next time. And remember this, once a legend, always a legend. Like a Hellcat.